So I was thinking a really good place to start would be how this even came about. Like, why real estate for you in the first instance?
I think growing up, I was always a driven person. That's certainly the feedback from my parents, and then went through a few things as well as a kid. So that kind of led me to being an agent and working on the Northern Beaches. It was where I grew up. It's what felt right. And I had the connection, so yeah, I went along with it.
Okay, was anything else an option for you before you chose real estate? Were there other things you were considering? And what age did you choose that real estate was your angle?
It's a good question because it was very early for me.
Yes.
Quite unique. I remember exactly where I was. I was standing at the bottom of the stairs at my family home and I was 16.
Okay.
And I was trying to work out what to do for work experience. And I phoned up a local real estate agency and got a little gig there, and that turned into full-time employment, or casual employment on weekends for the last 2 years of my schooling, and did my qualifications at high school as well. So I was off and racing as soon as I finished school. So quite early.
Yeah, look, that's as early as you get, really, and that's an interesting fact to see where you're sitting now. So decision made early. In terms of area, you've obviously quite specific. You're on the Northern Beaches of Sydney, then within a specific zone there. Is that where you started, where you're working today?
No. So I started in Artarmon.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I was actually telling the director of the business what to do. it was just a different breed, I guess, or a different stage of life. And so I went back to my TAFE teacher and said, hey, like, who do you know? I'm looking for a job. And she pointed me in the direction of Brendan.
Yes.
Who's one of the directors at Bell Northern Beaches.
So you've gone from first job to now being in partnership.
That's it.
Wow,
with Brendan,
amazing.
yeah.
What a story that is on its own.
Totally. And Brendan actually evolved as a agent as well. So started at McGrath, left McGrath to open up Century 21.
Yes.
I was with him through that process. So I got to see a business being set up from start to finish, and then we progressed to Century 21 to Bell Property.
Okay. And so that was, at that point, were you focusing on your core area that you now are focusing on?
No. So I was with Brendan, underneath Brendan's wing for 7 years.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is pretty much a university degree, really. Mm-hmm. You know, I worked late nights and almost 7 days a week in some cases. I sacrificed a lot of my personal life there. It's something you probably wouldn't have seen. I think it looks like I've gone from here to here really quickly.
Yeah.
Particularly because I am so young.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, sacrificed a lot, and we worked sort of the Collaroy market, Collaroy Plateau with Joe Morrison, and then it was time for me to spread my wings. Mm-hmm. I had a decision to sort of pick an area, which I did, and I didn't feel like it was being managed well.
And that area was?
Cromer.
Okay.
Yeah, Cromer, Willa Heights.
Yep.
And there was agents in there, but they weren't really taking it by the horns, so to speak. Okay. So, yeah.
So at what stage in your career did you choose that area? Because that's still the area that you are focusing on. So at what point, how many years now have you been laser focused on that Cromer, Wheeler Heights space?
It's been 10. It was 2015.
Okay.
Beginning of 2015. End of 2014, beginning of 2015.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, look, that's something that we see generally in the industry that isn't always the case. A lot of people you see move, change areas,
yes.
Remove that focus. And I actually personally think there's a lot of learning in what you've just shared,
yes.
that you've chosen an area and now 10 years more later, you are still laser focused on it. Why have you chosen to do that?
I think it's the connections and the track record that I built. Mm-hmm. I had been, I guess, enticed to work in a different area. You could call it a more popular area of the beaches. Mm-hmm. I was close to making that decision, but then pulled back just because of what I've built and the team that I've built as well.
You must have some exceptional relationships in that zone now. I would imagine now will be lifelong relationships.
Very much so. Some of them are close friends. I talk to them as more than my family members, to be honest. So, and they know about my life and I know about theirs. So it's quite a personal thing, selling a family home. So and also the journey, right? Buying their first apartment, then their first house.
Yep, love it.
The downsizing aspect to it as well. So it's and then what their kids do. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, so that's some real proof that choosing to laser focus on something does over time bring pretty significant outcomes.
Definitely. And the irony is that some of those relationships also take me to other areas, right?
Yes.
I've sold a few homes with you, Greg, up
Absolutely.
in Avalon, the Newport area.
Yep, very successful.
Because that contact has moved that way and they don't trust anyone else except for the experience they've had with me.
Absolutely.
I've got one in Queenscliff and Freshwater coming on shortly, purely because of the same thing. So
absolutely.
I'm now not sort of pigeonholing myself to that pocket as well. It's sort of taken me up and down just naturally.
Absolutely. Well, look, you're considered an expert in our industry, so for good reason, clients want to be working with you. Yeah. Something that might be of interest to others is give us the rough numbers of the sales you would have made, listing sales you would have made in that first year where you were focusing on Cromer and Wheeler Heights. Just approximate what that would have looked like.
Man, I reckon it would have been somewhere between 10 and 15.
Yep. Okay.
And my career did evolve quite rapidly. You know, I remember sitting. There was an agent called Anna Hassels, and she's from America.
I remember Anna. Absolutely, yes.
She's quite the personality, and I was in awe of her because she's just rocked up to Australia, had less than 12 months exposure, and became the #1 Bell property selling agent across the country. And I don't know, she had an awesome personality, and I was mesmerised by her, to be honest.
Yes.
And I thought to myself, at one awards night, I really want to be up on that stage, and I want to be #1.
Yeah.
Fast forward only 2 years later, I'm up on that stage, winning #1. It was never in my mind that it was going to be that soon. I thought maybe 10 years.
Yeah.
Not the first 24 months.
Completely. But look, it's proving through the chat we're having today that you're someone that has a plan, you stick to it, and you will pull it off. So we're talking starting in the career 10 to 15 listing sales, which is many agents out there that are still doing 10, 11 years later. So I think that's impressive in itself for the first year. But what is it today? So we've just finished a financial year, of 26.
Yes.
What are Nick's numbers looking like as we stand now?
Yeah. So I think roughly, and I think the last sort of 12 months has been sort of up and down, particularly right now as well, right?
Yeah.
But circa 90, so almost 100 properties
have sold
in the last 12 months.
Wow. Well done.
Yeah, thank you. It's been the grind. It always is the grind.
Yeah.
And then this year to date is, so January to August has been about 53, 54 sales. Yeah.
Excellent.
And the interesting thing about the 53, 11 of them have been sold through the first to see process.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is interesting. Can you just elaborate at a high level a little bit more about first to see for those that wouldn't understand what the first to see process is?
Yeah. So first to see is you take photos, you floor plan, you build an internet link, I guess the clients prepare their home to the best of their ability, but not sort of, not everything that they wish to do.
Yes.
And we just get a bit of a taste. We get information. We understand what people might be saying and thinking and feeling. And there's a chance to execute a sale within that sort of 1 to 2 week period. Or the vendor can, as I say, understand a little bit more and then do a sidestep into a full campaign.
Okay.
But 11 times this year.
So that's a huge advantage. If I think of that and what you've shared, you've chosen to laser focus in on a core. You definitely sell plenty of real estate outside of it, but lion's share of what you do is in that Cromer Wheeler Heights space.
Yeah.
So a client coming to you now wanting to sell, the reality is you have a very qualified, extensive list of people ready to go.
Yeah.
That with a fairly small investment from them of time and money, you can produce outcomes that are best in class.
Literally,
that's what I'm hearing.
Really well said. It's like you know exactly where you stand from a financial perspective with your asset within 1 to 2 weeks.
Yeah.
The power
that's
of the
unique.
It
is very unique.
And quickly. And it's, I think a lot of that's contributed to the fact that we've got 8 offices now and we've got the reach from up and down the beaches. So naturally, for different reasons, people are doing side steps and going up and down and whatnot. So we're really seeing that and we can understand what we're going to do within that moment.
Yeah, I love that stat because one of the biggest things we hear from a general market is the cost to do things now. Cost of living is top of mind for everyone, and then it comes to real estate sales and there's a cost of transaction. And it sounds like you have successfully found a way to not compromise the client's price.
That's it.
But get them an exceptional price outcome and really mindful of their cost, what they're going to spend.
And they need to feel like that is the best price for them. And,
yes.
And they've got to have context, which I think our database gives them that context, and there's quite the process with that. So yeah, I think it's been an exciting time. It's really also got us to be more laser focused with our buyers and understand who they are and what their needs are.
Yeah.
Because if we do have that opportunity, we can execute with that in a timely manner as well.
Okay. All right. So obviously there's 90 sales that you've just mentioned that have been made in the last financial year. Exceptional. I'm assuming it's not just Mr. Nick Duchatel that has literally done every part of that process. There must be some really key people around you that are helping this process along.
Absolutely. I think, Greg, the future is a team. You know, it's a bit like it's a bit like a pilot flying a plane, right? Like he or she is not going to do absolutely everything on that flight from A to B.
Yes.
They've got a team behind them, and they've all got their specific tasks, and they manage that with the highest level of efficiency. And
to be doing 90 sales, though, it must be like literally a Formula One pit team.
Oh, yeah.
So what's that look like?
So I've got a team of 3 associates. Okay. So they're my right-hand man and woman.
Yes.
And then 2 admin staff. And the admin staff is split between getting your property ready for market up until launching. And then once it's launched on all major websites or the first to see process, another administration person then takes over and manages that process all the way through to settlement.
Love it. So that's a very well-oiled machine.
Very.
Again, these 90 sales per annum aren't happening by chance.
No.
This is planned. This is thought out.
Yes.
You know, clients must feel a level of comfort when they come to you and your team to see that how you work.
Definitely.
I'm imagining.
They definitely do. And I think my value add has certainly changed over a period of time. I think the experience, like I can read, I was saying something to Elise that works in my team the other day, I could predict exactly what was going to happen with a certain interested party or outcome because of what I've experienced for so long, right? I'm like, at least they're not going to buy the home, blah, 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 blah.
Yes.
And she's like, really? Like, I go, no. Did you see this, and this, and this?
Yeah.
She goes, okay, well, we'll see how we go. Bang.
So that's understanding your client and your customer intimately.
That's it.
And your experience now allows that to happen, and that's a huge add value to the people that work with you.
I enjoy it. I think that's the best part. You know, I think understanding that human behaviour and the process, and then also training the team around me at the same time, it's the best part of the job.
Fantastic. Excellent. Well, look, thank you so much for sharing what you have today, Nick. I really appreciate that. It's been great to catch up and learn more.